You know that feeling when life starts to feel heavy, routine, and just not as enjoyable as it used to be, even when nothing is really wrong. But what if bringing more fun back into your days didn't require a big life overhaul or a complete personality change? Today we're going to talk about one simple shift that can help you make life feel more fun again, starting from where you already are. This matters because when we lose that sense of lightness and play, even small tasks can feel draining, and we can forget what actually brings us joy. When you start practicing this shift consistently, you may notice more moments of genuine enjoyment and a lighter, more curious approach to your day. The key is understanding that fun doesn't have to be planned or elaborate. It's often hidden in the small, overlooked moments we rush past. In this video, I'll walk you through this idea step by step, with gentle, practical ways to bring it into your everyday life. So let's start by looking at one common pattern that quietly steals the fun from our days without us even realizing it. When I talk about making life feel more fun again, I don't mean booking a vacation or buying something new. It's about rediscovering the sense of lightness and curiosity that used to come naturally. Real fun is that moment when you lose track of time because you're genuinely enjoying what you're doing. It could be as simple as having a conversation that makes you laugh or noticing something beautiful on your walk. A lot of us confuse fun with entertainment, but they're not the same thing. Entertainment is passive, while fun is active and involves your full attention. The real meaning here is about bringing back that playful energy into your ordinary day. And once you see what that looks like, you'll start to recognize where it's been hiding. Fun isn't just a nice extra, it actually affects how you handle stress and connect with others. When you have moments of genuine fun, your brain releases chemicals that improve your mood and resilience. It's like a reset button that helps you bounce back from tough moments more quickly. Even small doses of fun can break the cycle of feeling drained or overwhelmed. The problem is that we often push fun to the bottom of our priority list, thinking it's selfish or unproductive. But without it, life starts to feel heavy and routine, and that wears you down over time. Making fun a regular part of your life isn't indulgent, it's essential for keeping your energy and spirit intact. Once you understand this, the next step is to notice what happens when fun goes missing. When fun is absent, your days start to blur together and nothing feels exciting or new. You might find yourself going through the motions, doing what you had to do without any spark. Everything becomes serious, and even small tasks feel heavier than they should. You might notice that you stop laughing as much or that your conversations feel flat. It's not depression necessarily, but more like a quiet grayness that creeps into everything. This lack of fun can make you irritable, tired, and less patient with people you care about. The worst part is that you might not even realize it's missing until you remember how much lighter you used to feel. Recognizing this dullness is the first clue that something needs to change. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you about today's topic. What is one small thing you've done recently that made life feel a little more fun? Maybe it was a silly game, a walk without a plan, or just laughing at something unexpected. Feel free to share your thought in the comments below. I read every single one. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next video. We're building a little corner of the internet where real, gentle ideas live. And if you're in the middle of the video, just keep watching. There's more ahead. Thanks for being here and for making space for more fun in your life. One big thing that blocks fun is the belief that you have to earn it first. You tell yourself you'll have fun after you finish your work, clean the house, or check off every task, but by then you're too tired and the fun never actually happens. Another pattern is comparing your life to others, thinking their fun is better or more valid than yours. You might also fall into the habit of waiting for fun to come to you instead of creating it yourself. There's also a hidden belief that being an adult means being serious all the time, which is just not true. These habits and beliefs keep fun at a distance, making it feel like something you can't have right now. Once you see those patterns, you can start replacing them with a new way of thinking. The first mindset shift is to stop seeing fun as a reward and start seeing it as a practice. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment or the right mood. You can choose to bring a little fun into today. Think of it like brushing your teeth, a small daily act that keeps things healthy. When you treat fun as something you do intentionally, it becomes more accessible and less elusive. This shift removes the pressure to have a big, exciting experience every time. Even a few minutes of playfulness can change how the rest of your day feels. The key is to lower your standards for what counts as fun and let small moments count. With that mindset in place, you're ready for a simple step you can take right now. The first practical step is to set aside just 5 minutes each day to do something purely for the joy of it. This could be anything that makes you smile or feel light, like doodling, humming a tune, or skipping a step. The goal isn't to be impressive or productive, but to reconnect with the feeling of play. Set a timer so you don't worry about overdoing it, and protect that time like any important appointment. A common pitfall is to skip this because it feels too small to matter, but consistency is what rewires your brain. After a few days, you'll start to notice more spontaneous moments of fun appearing on their own. Taking this tiny step proves to yourself that fun is something you can create, not just wait for. Once you've tried this for a week, you can start looking at how to weave more fun into your regular routines. So, what does it actually look like when you start bringing more fun into your regular day? It's not about throwing a party every afternoon or doing something extreme. It's those small moments where you notice a little spark of enjoyment in something ordinary. Maybe you pause for a few seconds to actually feel the warmth of your morning coffee instead of gulping it down, or you take a slightly different route on your walk home and let yourself be curious about what you see. The key difference is that you're not forcing fun to happen. You're simply making space for it to show up. This might feel awkward at first, but over time it becomes a gentle habit that changes your whole mood. Let's talk about one simple practice you can try starting tomorrow to make that easier. One practice that really works is what I like to call a curiosity pause once a day. You pick one moment where you normally rush through something and instead slow down just enough to notice a small detail. It could be the sound of rain against the window or the way light falls across your desk. The goal isn't to analyze it or turn it into a big lesson, just to let yourself be briefly interested in it. This doesn't require extra time because you're only adding a few seconds to something you're already doing. Over time, these tiny pauses train your brain to look for small pleasures instead of just scanning for problems. The real magic is that you start feeling a little more alive without changing your whole schedule. But there's one mistake a lot of people make when trying this, so let's look at that next. If you're looking for more gentle ways to bring joy and ease into your days, I have a suggestion. Head over to www.happylifetribe.com where you'll find practical ideas and encouragement. It's a space built around calm living inspiration and mindful lifestyle guidance, not pressure. You'll discover simple tools to help you reset, reconnect, and feel more grounded. The site is full of real, down-to-earth support for anyone who wants a happier, more intentional life. No hype, no quick fixes, just genuine ideas that fit into your everyday routine. You can explore at your own pace and take what works for you. Consider it a gentle next step if you enjoyed today's video. The most common mistake is trying to force fun by planning elaborate experiences or buying something new. People think that if they just find the right hobby or the perfect vacation, everything will suddenly feel exciting. But that approach usually backfires because it puts pressure on the activity to deliver happiness. When it doesn't feel as amazing as you hoped, you end up feeling disappointed or like something's wrong with you. Real fun isn't about what you do, it's about how you show up to what you're already doing. If you're always looking for the next big thing, you miss the little moments that are already around you. This doesn't mean you can never try new things, just that you don't need to rely on them to feel alive. Now, I want to show you how to make this whole shift feel realistic so it doesn't overwhelm you. A big reason people give up on adding more fun is that they turn it into another chore. They decide they need to feel happy every single moment and then feel worse when they don't. The trick is to lower the bar completely, aim for a tiny bit of lightness instead of a huge emotional transformation. Just 5 seconds of genuine amusement while watching a cloud drift by counts as a win. You don't have to change your personality or suddenly become a bubbly, carefree person. Realistic fun looks like a few scattered moments of ease, not a constant state of joy. When you stop expecting so much, you actually start noticing the small pleasures that were there all along. Let's talk about what starts shifting inside you once this begins to stick. After a week or two of paying more attention to small moments, you might notice something surprising. Your mind feels a little less heavy, like the background noise of stress has turned down a notch. You start to remember that life isn't only about obligations and to-do lists, it's also about color and texture and passing moments. Emotionally, you feel a bit more patient with yourself and with others because you're not so tightly wound. You might even catch yourself smiling for no clear reason, which can feel strange but really nice. This isn't about ignoring problems, it's about letting yourself breathe between them. That small shift in perspective can make the hard parts of life feel more manageable because you have more emotional reserves. The next challenge is keeping this going when life gets chaotic, so let's talk about that. When things get hectic, the first thing we drop is usually anything that feels optional, and fun often feels optional, but that's exactly when you need those tiny pauses the most. The key is to connect your fun moments to something you already do every day, like brushing your teeth or waiting for a page to load. That way you don't have to remember another separate task. It just becomes part of your existing rhythm. Another helpful trick is to forgive yourself on days when you forget or just can't manage it. One missed day doesn't erase the progress you've made, and you can always pick it back up the next morning. Over time, these small resets become automatic, and you'll find yourself naturally seeking out those moments even in a packed schedule. So with that foundation in place, let's look at how to deepen this practice and make it a lasting part of your life. The more you practice letting fun be a natural part of your day, the more it starts to reshape how you experience everything. Over time, you stop seeing fun as a separate event you have to schedule, and instead it becomes a background feeling. You might notice that even ordinary moments, like waiting in line or folding laundry, feel lighter and less draining. This happens because your brain slowly learns to look for small pleasures instead of scanning for problems all day. It will not happen overnight, but after a few weeks, you'll catch yourself smiling without really knowing why. That shift is powerful because it makes your whole life feel less like a series of tasks and more like a series of moments. The key is to keep going even when the change seems subtle because it builds slowly. From here, though, you should know that realistic challenges can still pop up, and that's completely normal. One of the best parts of this journey is knowing you're not alone in it. At www.happylifetribe.com, you can connect with others who are also learning to live with more peace and intention. It's a warm, supportive community where we share small wins, honest struggles, and practical ideas. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. Together, we can keep moving forward. If you'd like to be part of that, just visit the site and see what feels right. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it's a simple way to keep receiving these gentle reminders. Thank you for being here and for trusting that life can feel more fun again. I hope you'll join us on this path, one small, joyful step at a time. Even after you've made real progress, there will be days when you feel like you've lost all the momentum. Maybe you're under a tight deadline at work, or you're dealing with something stressful, and fun feels like a distant memory. You might catch yourself thinking, I was doing so well, and now I'm back where I started. That thought is a trap, because you're not back at the beginning, you're just having a hard day. The challenge here is that your old habits, like rushing through everything or ignoring your feelings, are always waiting to return. The good news is that each time you recognize this, you're actually strengthening your ability to bounce back. So instead of panicking, you can just notice the slip and take a small step to reconnect with what feels good. Next, let's talk about exactly how to recover when you slip back into those old patterns. When you notice you've slipped back into a serious, joyless routine, the first thing to do is pause and breathe. Don't try to force yourself to be happy or pretend everything is fine, because that only adds pressure. Instead, pick one tiny thing you used to do that brought you a second of lightness, like listening to a favorite song or stepping outside for a minute. Do that small thing without any expectation of fixing your whole mood, just to remind yourself that fun is still possible. The recovery isn't about jumping back into a big effort. It's about a gentle return, like turning a car around slowly. You'll find that once you take that first small step, the rest becomes easier because your brain remembers the path. The most important thing is to be kind to yourself during the slip, because shame only keeps you stuck. Now, you might be wondering if this whole approach is really for you, so let's look at who this helps most. This approach is especially helpful for people who feel like they've lost their sense of playfulness somewhere along the way. If you're someone who takes life seriously, maybe because of responsibilities or past disappointments, this is for you. It also helps people who are naturally hard on themselves, always pushing for productivity and feeling guilty when they stop. And it's especially useful for those who have tried to have more fun by planning big events, only to feel exhausted afterward. The reason it works for these groups is that it's not about adding more to your plate, it's about changing how you see the plate. Even if you're already happy most of the time, this can help you dig deeper and find more consistent joy. Really, anyone who feels like life has become a long to-do list can benefit from this shift. So if you're ready to start today, here's a simple action plan that you can put into motion right now. Start by setting a timer for 3 minutes and just sit still, letting your eyes wander around the room. During those 3 minutes, notice one thing that catches your attention simply because it's interesting, like a pattern of light on the wall. Then, for the rest of the day, let yourself do one small thing that you used to enjoy but have stopped doing, like doodling or humming a tune. Don't worry about why you stopped or whether you'll do it again tomorrow, just do it once. Before you go to bed, think of one moment from your day that felt even slightly pleasant and hold on to that feeling for a few seconds. That's it, no complex routines, no apps, no pressure. Repeat this simple pattern tomorrow and the next day and let it grow naturally. Finally, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with some encouragement for why this change is worth practicing. Making life feel more fun again isn't about turning your life into a party, it's about letting yourself be present enough to enjoy what's already here. The small moments you reclaim, like a laugh with a friend or a quiet minute with a cup of tea, add up into a life that feels fuller. You don't have to change who you are or become a different person, you just have to give yourself permission to feel good. This practice is worth it because it teaches you that joy doesn't have to be earned, it can be welcomed. Even on days when it feels hard, the fact that you're trying means you're already moving in the right direction. Over time, this shift becomes less of a technique and more of a natural way of being, like breathing. So keep going and trust that the more you invite fun in, the more it will show up on its own. Thank you for being here, and I hope you carry this lightness with you into the rest of your day. As we wrap up, I hope this felt like a gentle reminder that fun can find its way back into your everyday life. Start small, maybe with just one of the ideas we talked about today, and see how it feels. If this video brought you a little bit of lightness, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Happy Life Tribe. You can also find more encouragement, practical ideas, and calm living inspiration at www.happylifetribe.com. That community is full of people who are learning to live with more joy and ease, just like you. We share simple tools, supportive conversations, and a space to grow at your own pace. Thank you for spending this time with me today and for being open to making life a little more fun. Take what feels right, leave the rest, and I'll see you in the next video.